everyone, and welcome to the Indie Author Life Show, a space dedicated to sharing the unique stories of authors and creatives within the self-publishing space. My name is MG Hunt, and today I'm here with a wonderful indie author, EJ Riley, and we're here to chat all about her writing life. So, thank you so much for joining me here today, Elizabeth. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Of course, you've got your drink, you've got your nice setup, you've got the cats wandering around. So I
Yeah.
think we've got a good, relaxing environment to get into some of the heavy and hard-hitting questions that I have for you.
Yeah,
Watch
I
out.
saw the email. I got the email with the questions and I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
I
it's
was
just
like,
crazy.
no, she's asking too many questions.
I know, I'm just
Um,
so nosy.
it's fine. It's fine.
All
I'm
right.
prepared.
You're prepared. You've done your research. No. In all seriousness, I am very curious to know all about your perspective on a few different things in regards to the process of writing, because you have not yet released your own debut book. Is that right?
Yes,
Mm.
so I had my debut in an anthology, The State of Mind Girl Dinner Volume 1 anthology.
Yes.
But that was I felt very safe doing that because there was like a safety net of very supportive, lovely friends
Yeah.
who had been through the steps themselves.
Mm.
And yeah, supported by a fantastic editor, Laura at Hummingbird. Um,
Yes.
and I felt very safe to dip my toes in there because my other work is not the
Wow.
same as that piece. So I was like, I need to ease myself into this process. I'm taking this seriously. I don't want to like Icarus myself. Let's do something safe first.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
love that. I think that's a great approach because that's something that I never considered when I was first getting into self-publishing or publishing in general. I did start with a short story, which I guess is similar to yourself, but I didn't kind of have a group of authors at that point to support me in the same way that you have with like an anthology, for example. So I think that's an excellent way that you've thrown yourself into this self-publishing space by being surrounded by wonderful people that are part of the state of mind. It's Girl Dinner Anthology, is that right? Because there's going to be like three.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
Girl Dinner, I'm in Girl Dinner Volume 1.
Only one.
Um, I have it right here.
Oh, yes, there it is. State of mind, very pink.
I'm this one.
There it is. There it is. You're on the
Yeah,
front
this is.
cover.
Do you want to see something really funny? This is my
Yes.
botched misprint
Oh, you've
one.
got the misprint one. That's funny. So
So
for
I
people
got,
just listening, it's
yeah,
like half cut at like maybe three-quarters of the way of the page, and then like the last quarter is completely like cut off. Oh,
yeah.
God.
It was so funny because it was the first one I opened out of the box, and because I got my author copies, and I was like, my life is finally coming together. It's how I want it to be. And I opened up the first book, and it was like botched. It was
Oh.
there was like stories missing. There was stories repeated. It was cut off in half, and I was like, oh my God.
What? And then everything
Yeah.
else was fine, but just that
Everything
one.
else was fine, and everyone else in their batches were all good. So it was just this
What?
one like dodgy little one, and then Laura was like, "You got to return it. We're gonna return it, and we're gonna get you a refund, and you're gonna
Yeah.
get a new book." And I was like, "No, this is
This
hilarious,
is my
and I'll
baby.
bring it with me everywhere, and I'll be like, this is my book. You
Yeah.
can't read it. No one can."
That's scary though. Like I used to work in 'cause I'm a graphic designer. I used to work in like a signage company and it would always be like such a source of anxiety if there was a thing wrong with the print. So just seeing that straight up, like spelling mistakes or, graphics not printed correctly, seeing that straight out the box, that would have sent me. I swear.
Oh, I was sent. I was sent. I was like, I was standing with my partner and one of my closest friends, and I was like,
What
guys, I
happened?
think it's broken. It's
I
it's not right. It's not
did something
good.
wrong. I did
I
something
did so
wrong.
I did something. I was like, I must have ordered it wrong. And my partner was like, I don't. think
No.
so. I think the printer didn't print
Yeah.
properly.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
with a place like Amazon, I think the quality can range sometimes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just interesting how you got it and not like you haven't heard of anyone else getting a dodgy copy, like
No
people
one
that have
else
bought
in
it.
the, yeah, no, no one else. It's only me. And honestly, I'm so glad for that because now I'm it's in the forefront front of my mind that I
Mm.
should always order one more than I think I
Yeah.
need, just
Yep.
in case it's misprinted or there's something wrong with one of them.
Good point.
Um, yeah, so now I always order an extra one
An
just in
extra one.
case.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great bit of advice there. Thank you. But yes, getting more into yourself in
Mhm.
particular, I would
Okay.
love for you to tell us all a little bit more about where you grew up, your background, and things like that, whatever you want to share.
Oh my God. Okay. So the long and short of it is I was born in Victoria, rural Victoria.
Mm,
But I grew up in Alice Springs. So
wow.
yeah, with my parents and some siblings. And being out in the desert, like I think I talked about this on my website, but being out in the desert, everything's a story. Like we were so involved with Indigenous communities. My school
Mm,
was on Indigenous land. Well, it's all Indigenous land, but
mhm.
like
Yep.
very strongly, like this is Indigenous land. You're welcome here to learn. A lot of my teachers were Indigenous, and I just fell in love with, I guess, the idea of having a yarn, like
Hmm.
telling a story, telling the truth through a story.
Mm,
Um, and just being so involved with being inspired by what's around you. Like, I know for some people, their inspiration is probably like Scotland
yeah.
and like, like pine trees and
Yep.
whatever. But for me, yeah, growing up in the desert, it was
Yeah.
like, this is a sea of endless possibilities.
Yeah.
Like everything that's ever happened has happened here, and everything that will happen has happened here already.
Yeah.
It just feels like a never-ending place to be.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's like you're out of time, but you're in time. It's so non-linear. So I think,
Mm.
yeah, growing up there really impacted me. Like it impacted my career, what I studied, why I studied it. Yeah, so grew up there and then came back to Victoria for high school.
Ah,
Went to Anglican college for the first half of high school. Hated
interesting.
it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Mm.
I had a really rough time with authority.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had teachers trying to fit me, like I felt like a square peg, round hole kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
I had people just forcing things upon me that I didn't want.
Mm.
And I really rebelled against that
Mm.
a lot. And throughout all this time, I should say, like I started writing stories when I was around 5. I used to like write stories. My dad used to buy like planks of butcher paper, like rolls, and
Yeah.
he would roll it from one end of the house to the other, and I would go along and write and
So
draw
cool.
a whole story.
Awesome.
So yeah, my parents have like these rolls of my stories that I have told growing up. And then yeah, throughout high school, especially during that rough period of like I was getting bullied. I was also not very nice. Like I was a 13, 14-year-old girl. I was mean. I was mean to my parents. I was mean to me. Like I was so like
It's very relatable.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like I know everything and I'm super cool and you don't know anything. It's not a phase,
It's not a
mom. Like
phase. Yeah.
yeah, like I love my music. Get out of my room. Like
Yeah.
I was a bit of a nuisance, but
Oh.
I spent all of my time writing. So
Mm.
at school during recess, lunch, after school, during sport
Writing.
period when I was supposed to be playing sport, I would hide and I'd write.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just was writing a story. It's something we'll talk about later, but I was writing this story and I started writing it when I was around, I would say 12, like maybe 11.
Wow.
And then I continued writing it. And by year 9, I had written 9 books.
Oh my goodness,
Of this like
Elizabeth.
one series.
Wow.
And I just was like, what am I gonna do with it? I don't know. It's done. So I just left it and I would write something else and write something else. But those 9 books kind of never left my brain
No.
and they never felt right. but I didn't know how to fix them, so I just left them.
Yeah.
Then in year 10, moved to Melbourne. My parents were like, if you want to do school in Melbourne, find find a school that you want to go to, get a job. Let's move
Wow.
you. Let's go.
Wow.
So I started my, I guess like my adult journey when I was
Yeah.
around 15. Went to a new school that I loved,
Good.
was so artistic. Like there was creative writing groups, the library was huge and was like the focal point of the school.
Yep.
Um, like my English classes, just I loved them. I did literature, I did all these things. And I also was able to, because I moved to Melbourne, I was able to do classes like classics, um,
Yes.
and philosophy and
Mm.
just like classes like that that really, I don't know, made me feel worth,
Mm.
I don't know, like w worthwhile. I felt like my
Mm.
brain was finally somewhere that's worthwhile for me.
Yep.
And during that time, I rewrote the original series that I wrote when I was a kid, and it came back down to 5 books.
Oh
But it still wasn't right. Like it just
my
didn't feel
books.
right to me. I couldn't work out what was wrong, and I was
Yep.
getting really, really frustrated.
Hmm.
Um, and then yeah, so I graduated high school and I went to university for a Bachelor of Arts, but I did Ancient World Studies, which is archaeology, and classics, and I did
Cool.
history as well.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and I at this point, because I had so much uni work and I wasn't doing creative writing anymore, I was like, it's just give it up. Like it was your
Yes.
childhood hobby. Like
Hmm.
just give it up. You don't have time for it. Like stop doing that.
Yeah.
And I talked myself out of it and I regret that still to this day. I should have kept writing. Um,
It's
yeah.
hard. It's hard when you're
It's
going through a
hard.
transition and you think, because I'm right there with you when I finished year 12 and then went to uni. I've done a Bachelor of Arts as well, similar to you. I remember thinking, yeah, what's the point of following these passions that I've had before? It kind of felt like that was one part of my life that felt childish and I need to grow up. I need to do something else.
Yeah.
So of course, you could feel like, oh, why didn't I start there? But it doesn't matter because you're still doing it now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that was really important for me now, like looking
Mm,
back on it. Like I have always struggled with mental health issues, like as a kid, as a teenager, as an adult. I have always had really horrific anxiety and
mm,
depression, and
mm,
writing was the only thing that made me feel happy and safe.
yeah.
Um, and then as I got older, I felt like I had replaced it with, my partner and friends and maybe like academia a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. But in the back of my mind, it was always lurking, like that there
Still
was something
there.
missing and I wasn't fulfilling it and I would just ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. Um, so yeah, I did that. And then I applied for my honors. I was working as an archaeologist at
Oh,
the
cool.
time. So I did archaeology. I also was working as a historian somewhere else.
Wow.
Um, and I worked with Indigenous people again, which was like my dream was that I wanted to work with Indigenous communities again, do what I could to like give back. It's hard when you're one single person. Like
Yeah.
land back now, treaty now,
That's
like
it.
etc. But what can I do as an individual to help?
Yeah.
So I thought, returning artifacts back to where they're supposed to be or giving funding to different Indigenous groups for research on those artifacts.
Mm.
That was my intention. And then the further
Wow.
I got into the archaeology pipeline, I became a heritage advisor. Um, and I could see that it was all like the structure was for the white man.
Yep.
Like I was experiencing casual sexism at
Mm.
work, like to the point where I would bring it home and just feel like shit all the time. And then, being a witness to casual racism and feeling like I was the only person standing up and saying anything about it a lot of the time.
Mm.
Um, yeah, so that like really, really bothered me. And I was just like, oh, I was
Takes
in
a
this weird
toll.
stage. Yeah. And
Mm.
this was all going on while I was doing my honors. Um,
Oh,
so I was
okay.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually finished my thesis. but I didn't finish the coursework. So halfway through the year, I went on a holiday, like a family holiday with my partner and his family, and we were in
Oh,
Scotland,
oh
and
wow.
we had been there for like 2 days, and I looked at him and I was like, I don't want to do this. And he
Oh,
was like, be in Scotland? And I was like, no, no, I want to be in Scotland. I don't want to do my honors. I don't
oh,
want to be an archaeologist anymore. I'm sick of
okay.
it. Like, I want to write a book and I want to
Wow.
write my book. And so he was like, okay, let's write your
Okay.
book.
Oh,
So he helped me withdraw my honors application. There was some other stuff going on in the background, but
yep.
like that was the that was the key thing is that I turned around and I was like, I just want to write. Like, what am I doing? And he was like,
Unbelievable.
let's let's do it. So yeah, I had around 6 months off. I
Yep.
was like very chronically ill. I have a chronic
Mm.
condition called fibromyalgia.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in like a 6 month long flare. So I didn't work.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
Mm.
wrote. And I just wrote. And it came back. Like what I was writing was the story that I had written from when I was 11 years old. Like the 8 book, 9 book series that turned into 5 books. And I was like, oh, this is what I was missing. It was being an adult. It was always supposed to be an adult story told by an adult. And I
Mm.
just wasn't old enough to grasp it yet.
Wow.
So I'm still writing it now. I'm currently rewriting that book, which is The Seeker's Guild, which is the
Yes.
first in the series. So it's a big fantasy. But yeah,
Mm.
it's still going. But I guess that's such a long story. But
It's important. Every part of that was very important for paving the
yeah,
way to where you are right now
yeah.
because it's
So
been a journey.
yeah, I went back to do my master's at a different uni.
Oh.
So I studied teaching, secondary teaching.
Oh,
Yeah, which like just works with my lifestyle
yeah.
more.
Nice.
Um, and I'm a history teacher and an English teacher. And I have a year at the moment, I have a year 9 class called professional writing where I teach them
Oh.
all about like writing creatively or writing journal articles or recently we just did poems.
Oh.
Um, so yeah, that's been really fun and it's nice to have a workplace that really
Mm.
encourages me to use my passions from home in my
Yes.
work.
They value that.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's
Mm.
just like these kids were, I have one girl in my class who's like, I want to be an author, but that's not a realistic job. And I'm just like, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Like just do it. I because no one ever told me why not,
Yeah.
until my partner did. And then now I can do that for these kids. If you want to be an author, you can.
Yeah.
You don't have to put things to the side to be an
No.
adult. I feel like doing this whole writing journey, and even though I've only published a short story at the moment, it's really healed my inner
Mm.
child. Like I
Yes.
went back and I saved her and I finally let her out and she's happier than ever. Her
Yeah.
mental health is under control.
Yeah.
She isn't chronically ill anymore. Well, she is, but
Wow. Yeah.
like
That's a
that's under
big
control
change.
because I'm
Mm.
happy.
Mm.
And I'm doing something that I like and I have the means to do so.
Yeah.
And I think that I just not to sound tokenistic, but I think I lost my whimsy.
Hmm.
I lost my whimsy somewhere in the like, I need a paycheck.
Yeah,
And
that's so
uh,
that's drummed into us that we have
yeah, and
to be
I
like
felt
that.
like a capitalist slave. I was
Hmm.
literally at work and I was like, what am I doing? This is
Yep.
like like this is not what I need. So yeah, I'm
So
just
great.
following the path of
Yeah.
my child in my head, my mini
You're
me.
staying true to yourself.
Yeah, what she needs to do.
Yeah, it's what you need to do. It really is a compulsion because I'm sure there's been a lot of paths that you could have taken along the way that could have diverted you from where you are right now. But I still feel like no matter what, you would get to the point where you're like, no, writing is what I need to do, whether it
Yeah,
took
I
you many
agree.
years to find it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wholeheartedly. I'm just so glad that my inner child woke me up while I'm still in my like early 20s because
Yes.
now I feel like
Gosh.
I
Yeah.
can make so many mistakes on the way.
You're
And
only
I'm
in your
not 30
early
yet.
20s. That's
Yeah.
just, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I'm 23, turning 24
wow.
this year. Yeah.
You've had a rich life already in your first 23, almost 24 years of life. And it's going to keep on growing from there. What a life. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Just as a
yeah,
side, oh yeah, keep going. Yeah.
been up and
Wow.
down, yeah.
Been up and down. And where did you study your qualifications? Was that in Melbourne?
Yeah. Yeah, so the University of Melbourne,
Yep.
mainly. I also had the opportunity to go on exchange with the University of Sydney and the University of Athens. So I
Cool.
studied in Athens for a bit, and that was
Wow.
incredibly, yeah, inspiring as well.
So cool. I would love to go to Greece
It's
purely for that, to
the
go.
best. The best.
Mm.
I love it. Greece and Iceland are the two
Oh,
places that
mm.
I've been that I've just like stories have just like poured out of me left, right, and center.
Yes.
Um, like just uncontrollable, like always needing a notebook so I could just jot something down or I don't know, things come into my head like fully formed and then I need to unpack them because I don't know who they are. They've just
Wow.
arrived.
They just
I'm like, who are you?
arrive. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that they just arrive because I feel like there is, and this does relate to a book that I reference with the creative process. There's Elizabeth Gilbert's book, Big Magic, where she talks about how ideas just come into your head and it's like a special moment where
Mm.
the idea has come to you because it wants to be told through you. And I really resonate with that. And I think that it seems like you do as well, because it's just like, oh,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
idea has just
It
come.
rings so true. And especially for me, yeah, with the Seekers Guild, being so frustrated as like 11-year-old, being like, why
Mm,
can't I get this right? Like, why does it feel wrong? And then all of a sudden being 23 and it's like a bell has rung out and it's like, oh, because she's an adult, like the main character's an adult.
yeah.
And I need to live what she's lived to be
Yeah.
able to tell a story.
She's ready
So yeah,
now.
she's ready now. Yeah.
You've got so many exciting ideas floating around your head, and it's really exciting that they're coming to fruition in what you're writing. But I appreciate that you're taking your time with it as well,
Mhm.
where I think that you want to do it right, and you want to do it right in the sense of like the way that you want it to be done right, not by any other schedule or publishing it by anyone else's proposed plan for you. It's what you want to do. And yeah, I'm really keen to get into more of the
Oh
Seekers
my God.
Guild. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, it's very, very exciting. But I do want to get into some other parts of perhaps your approach to writing. And I'm wondering if you can give us an insight into what you find is the most enjoyable part of your writing versus the hardest part.
Oh my God. My writing process is not a process.
Yep.
It's like to be so frank, it's a clusterfuck.
Yep.
It's so all over the place. Like I will like the Seekers Guild is different because she's been with me for a long time. Like
Yes.
you could ask me any question about that universe and I could
You'll
answer
know.
you. Like it's an encyclopedic type of knowledge. But with other things like Pasha and June, like that
Yeah.
was actually just a moment. I was in a train carriage and I was like coming home from work and I one of my headphones had died, so I could
Oh,
only hear like the music out of one headphone.
oh no.
And it was the ambience of the train
Yeah.
like rocking this way and the whole story just like snapped into place.
Wow.
So I knew the whole arc, I knew everything. Um, so I just had to write it down. But for me, a lot of it is music.
Mm.
Like I have to make a playlist. I have to make a Pinterest board.
Yes.
I'm very like, I don't know, multimodal
Yeah, like
in that
sensory.
sense.
Everything
Yeah,
has to
yeah.
kind of emerge itself through different medias, whether the visual or the
Yeah.
sound, and yeah. Mm.
Yeah, I need to be fully immersed. I think that's like with my autism because I
Yeah.
had diagnosed ASD.
Mm.
But I need to be like within that zone. And then I kind of just write it down.
Yeah,
Like
write it
the
down.
With Pasha and June in particular, that was my first draft
Yes, and
that
that's
I
from
sent.
Girl Dinner, is that right?
Yeah,
Yes,
from
State
Girl
of
Dinner.
Mind.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So the curious beguilement of Pasha and June. So that went as it is straight to Laura.
Straight to
Um,
Laura and
I
Hummingbird.
had, yeah, at Hummingbird, I had no revisions really, just like formatting and, spell checking a few words and that kind of thing. And Laura was great, but it really just kind of hatched and
Yeah,
went like it just kind of did what
it
it needed
came
to do.
out.
But yeah, but otherwise, like, so this is my most recent like Seekers Guild notebook, and this comes with
Oh,
me everywhere.
love it.
And then I have one for the story that I'm writing right now for something that's coming out later. And then
Interesting.
Pasha and June had its own notebook. Like I physically take a notebook everywhere so that if something occurs or if it's just a phrase or I don't know, a smell or a sensation or anything like that. It goes straight into the notebook.
Straight to the
Um,
notebook.
and sometimes when I'm struggling to draft, I'll just write scenes in the notebook and then type them up later and see how they change.
So
But yeah, it's a
interesting.
pretty like I don't really plot.
Yep.
Like the plot, it just kind of comes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm not like a plotter.
Mm-hmm.
No,
No,
but yeah,
I
it just
relate.
kind
Yeah.
of it is what it is. You don't have to like it, but
It's
that's
coming out
it.
that way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So interesting. I love that because I think that I enjoy being surprised with where the story goes from
Mm,
one improvised moment to the next. And I mean, I do appreciate some plotting where maybe there's a scene, but
yeah.
then when it comes to developing that, I think a lot of it really is pantsing. Do you find that you can build your world from like a scene or maybe even a character discussion or conversation that happens?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I have, for example, with the Seekers Guild, like there's key scenes. There's always been key scenes that haven't
Yes.
changed since I was like 11
Yeah.
years old. They've
Yeah.
never they've never changed.
And they stay that
Um,
way. Yeah.
and they're going to stay that way. And so then it's like in every iteration I've had of it, it's the webbing
Yep.
around that's shifted.
Hmm.
And I like to kind of plan that way. So there's like, X amount of crucial scenes, and then I'll let the web connect them as I'm writing. But I do write chronologically.
Yep. Hmm. Yep.
So yeah, but like in the doc. So in the notebook, scenes can scenes can pop out however they want. But
Ah.
chronologically, typing it in the story.
Yeah.
But I know where the scene in the notebook fits in the
In the
general
whole
web.
world. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love that. Yeah, because sometimes you'll be thinking of something and you're like, oh, I really want the characters to get to that point. Do I write that part down or do I just keep them in the back of my mind, like I guess with your notebook, and then keep going in my document how things are going chronologically? No, that's
Yeah,
really
and for
cool.
me as well, with something so big like the Seekers Guild, that's obviously going to be more than one book.
Yeah.
A scene might come to me and I'm like, that's crucial, that has to stay, but it's not for the first book. That
Yes,
might be for
yeah.
like the third book or the fourth book, however many it ends up being this time. Um, yeah, so like in
Yeah.
my head, there's like a massive string. There's like a chronological timeline that exists. And
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, that scene will fit in somewhere here and here. Like, is that
Yeah.
an epilogue? I don't know. But
But you'll
yeah,
know. You know.
I'll know.
Yeah.
I'll know eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like people don't like people that maybe aren't authors or I guess creatives don't sometimes I've received questions from other people being like, how do you remember like what goes on? And I just feel like perhaps you and I are the same. It's like when you live and breathe the story and it's something that you always think about, you can't not you can't forget. I mean, sure, there's little bits and pieces that you forget, but it feels like it's not something where I need to be very structured about it. Like I'll just know. And I'm sure you're the same.
I'll just know, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll know, like, I'm a bit of a cartography, geography nerd as well. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I'll know exactly where they are in the world. I'll know what day it is. I'll know what time it is, like, what's the period, what's the history, what's like the key religion at that time.
Yes.
I'm a little bit of like a George R. R. Martin in that sense, where
Uh-huh.
like the world is like I have written this whole world. Whether or not I'll use the whole world is
Yeah,
a different thing. But like it's a full-blown society in here. Like
absolutely.
it's I know. I've been there. I've traveled it.
You've been there. I love that. I'm going to use that in how I think about my world. I've been there. Yeah, I know what
I know
happens.
her.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
I've been there.
see. You know her. She is an entity of herself.
Mm.
I can't wait to see. And eventually, I'm sure, well, I'm hoping that you get something designed of your map because it's going to look epic. Oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God, do you want to see something?
I would love to.
Show you. So, this
Oh
is
my
the
God.
map.
What? That
So
is
I did this
gorgeous.
myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Because
Wow.
eventually I'm gonna scan it and make prints. But
Yes.
I still have the map that I made from when I was 13. So
Amazing.
this is the map I made when I was 13.
Amazing.
Um,
I
and it
love it.
hasn't really changed.
That's so precious. That's
Yeah.
amazing. So, I would like to get into discussing more of the Seekers Guild in particular. And we had an insight into the maps that you showed. And I'm
Yeah.
just still like, can't get over the fact that you have a map that you drew from when you were 13.
Yeah.
My
Yeah. And it's never changed.
wow, that's so
Um,
special.
yeah, it's just never changed. I tried to make it change. At one point, I was like, this landmass does not make sense.
Yeah,
I was like, no, I need to take this seriously. Because I've always been into cartography, like I
yeah,
said. And then every single time I tried to change it, it didn't work with the story.
yeah.
So I was like, girl, just leave it.
Just
Just
leave it. It's
just leave it.
fantasy. I
Yeah,
think it's
just
just,
let it breathe.
as we were saying, it's kind of like a person. It's kind of like
Oh
a,
yeah.
yeah, it's part of the whole world. And I love to see a visual representation of it. So you best believe I'll be buying a print. That's for
Oh my
sure.
God. Well,
When
maybe
they
you
come out.
can do me like
Oh,
a cool digital print, maybe.
oh
Maybe we
my
can
God.
collab.
All right, we'll talk
I
after this.
commission you. Yeah.
But yes, oh my goodness. It's so exciting that you have gone between anthologies and publishing your work that way, but also working on the Seekers Guild in particular. So I want to know a little bit about what that process is where you go and pivot between working on the Seekers Guild but then also finding the time to do these anthologies. Do you find
Yeah.
it a bit of like a something that you have to be structured with and plan for? Is there a different way that you approach those things? Let me know.
Okay.
Mm.
No.
Yeah,
So,
short answer, no.
um, like, yeah, I've kind of already touched on this idea, but
Mm.
all the characters and the world like lives in my head
Yes.
for the Seekers Guild. Like it exists, it breathes, it's in my head all the time. I'm
Mm.
constantly thinking about it. Sometimes I have dreams of me sitting at my computer and typing stuff. And then I wake up and I'm like, did I type that? Did I write that down? I didn't write it down.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
love it.
it's always going to be there. It's always in the back of my head and it's my precious baby that I will not let hatch until it's fully cooked.
Yep.
So I don't care how long it takes me, it will come out,
Mm.
but I don't care how long it takes me. Whereas like the thing with anthologies is that there's usually a word limit.
Yes.
Um, and it's so fun for me to play. Like I love a theme, I love a trope. So I love the little like they're almost like writing exercises for me. Like they exist in the same way that the Seeker Guild exists in my head,
Yeah.
but it's far more like approachable. I'm
Yep.
writing another short story at the moment for House,
Your
a gothic
house.
anthology that's coming
Mm.
out later.
Yeah. And that's a
So
bit
like at the
different.
moment, yeah, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
really excited for that. It's that at the moment that's what I'm writing right
Yep.
now. I had to take a pause with Seekers Guild because Katarina won't listen right now. So I'm like, I'm gonna let you be. You have this tantrum that you need to have, and I'll come back to you when you're ready to work with me.
That's it. You let her
Yeah,
sit.
because her voice just like yeah.
Yeah.
So my whole time of writing the Seekers Guild, it was in third person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then now rewriting it as an adult, I wanted to make it first person, to try and get a little bit more insight into her head.
Yeah.
However, that means she fights with me, with her voice and how it sounds.
Yep.
Like sometimes I'll be writing it and it's not her, it's June. Like it's June's voice. And I'm like, wait, sorry,
Who's
too many
talking?
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? So sometimes if I have something on like at the front of my mind,
Yep.
I have to get it out so that
Yeah.
I can come back to the Seeker's Guild because it's just such a large, encompassing, huge
It's epic.
story. It's
Mm.
epic. It's high fantasy, it's epic fantasy. I do have like I have a love-hate relationship with the term romantasy, but there is
Yep.
like romantic elements, of course.
Mm.
And I think it's also like a coming of age novel, but she's also well into her 20s. Like
Mm.
I think there's just so many different elements going on that sometimes I just need to work with the character who's cooperating with me, get
Yes.
them out, and then come back
Come back.
to Kat because she's so all-encompassing.
Wow. I I'll get back to talking about cat and all that stuff, but something that's just crossed my mind is that I do want to pick your brain a little bit about why you have a love-hate relationship with the term romantasy, because yeah, I can't help but agree. And you just say what you're going
Mm,
to say, and then yeah,
okay.
you go for it.
All right. I love romantasy books.
Yeah,
And I love it as like if there's a shelf in a bookstore and it's like romantasy, I'm like, okay, I'm going.
you're
Like
going.
I know that those are books for me.
Yep.
They're gonna be up my alley and I'm gonna enjoy them.
Hmm.
I love that women are coming together around romantasy books and building community and building a love for these books. And for a lot of people, it's brought them back to reading. I'm
Yeah.
always gonna promote that.
Yeah.
However,
Hmm.
it scratches a feminist part of my brain that it really bothers me that
Hmm.
it's a lot of books get marketed and it's a marketing term, whatever, but it's sometimes it's just so reductive.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
I can't recall a fantasy that I've enjoyed
Yeah.
that by a male author that hasn't had a romantic subplot.
Mm. Mm.
So why is it, and it's mainly female or gender neutral or diverse
Yep.
people
Hmm.
writing romantasy.
That will be
So
put into that. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
sorry, Game of Thrones is a romantasy.
Yeah,
Sorry.
totally.
Sorry.
Totally
John
agree
and
with you
Danny,
there.
like like how just
Yeah.
bear with me for a sec.
Mm. Hmm.
John and Danny both see this comet across the sky and they both see it in different countries and it means like the age of a new dawn. I'm sorry if Sarah J. Maas wrote that, you wouldn't blink an eye. Like that's such a soulmate tethering like the bond snapped kind of moment, but because it's a male author,
Yeah. It
and
gets
it's
treated in
like,
that different category of
yeah, like,
seriousness. It's pure
yeah,
fantasy.
it's pure, and
Mm.
it's like, well, there's smut in Game of Thrones too. Have you thought
Absolutely.
about that? Like,
Yeah.
and I actually have a gripe with smut as well because it's
Hmm.
like, grow up. If it's an adult book, there's going to be adult consequences.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
humans do that. Like,
Yes.
why? And
Totally.
also, why is it a bad thing that women are enjoying their own
Oh,
sexuality?
absolutely. I think
Like,
that the,
what
yeah,
is wrong with you?
critiques around smut being something that automatically feels like it downplays the intellectual aspect or the seriousness of a book is I was going to say redundant, but that's not the right word. Um, it feels like we're taking a step back. And I think that
Yeah.
we need to reframe why, again, it's a societal I guess, problem where we still feel like anything that women like is lesser than.
Yeah, yeah, and
Mm.
it just really irks me as well that like the
Mm.
opposite of smut in terms of marketing is clean. And it's like, so
Mm.
I'm dirty.
Mm. Yeah.
So you think I'm dirty.
Yeah,
And I
totally.
that really bothers me. I saw someone post on Instagram the other day that the opposite should be sweet. So it's like
Oh,
sweet and
interesting.
spice.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and
Okay.
I like that
I would
because
prefer that.
obviously. I
Mm,
would prefer that because
mm.
it doesn't make me feel dirty for lacking something, and it also might not make someone else feel like a prude or like, you know what I
Yes.
mean?
Well, I think
I,
it's good that
yeah.
we have ratings. I mean,
Yeah, ratings are important.
that's
Yeah.
subjective, but I think having something that's a little bit like we're starting from here and it's like a neutral position, and then it is like this level of chilies rather than having
So,
things that are
yeah,
like
yeah,
super dirty or super bad or, all that
yeah,
stuff. So, but yeah, I'm
yeah.
really with you there. I feel like romantasy, of course, love what's being written, but I think we need to be a little bit critical about how it's being used.
Yeah, and language has
Mm,
power.
it does.
Like you can say something without an ill intent,
Hmm.
but someone can still receive it with ill
Absolutely.
consequences and ill feelings. And I think also for me as an individual, engaging with the term romantasy makes me feel like I'm operating within the patriarchy,
Hmm.
but I'm also like rebelling against it. And it's that's what I mean by love hate. Like
Yeah.
it feels very sometimes I'm like, oh, what am I doing? Like and then I'm
Mm.
like, no, I want to engage. I want to do
Yeah.
this. I want to support. Like, I write this. There's nothing, and I
Yeah.
saw Kelly Hart speak in Melbourne for her Brimstone tour, and she had a really good point about how marketing goes through cycles.
Yeah. It
And
really
it this
does.
is this is the cycle
Yeah, it
of the
is.
moment. And I think the fact that I'm so passionate about it is good, but
Yeah.
also like it's a cycle. It'll come and go. There's probably going to be like a different term. Um,
Mm. I
you
wonder what
know,
that would be.
who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah. I just hope it's not going to be a gendered term. I just think that, well, I mean, we surely have evolved in a society from, calling things women's fiction or, all that stuff. Of course, there's a
Yeah.
place for it when, it is about feminist topics, but yeah, I think that this is something that will keep evolving and it will be good. I'm waiting to see a male author come out with a romantasy or something like
Yeah.
that. That'd be great,
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see an ally male author write Fourth Wing.
Yes,
I want to see it.
let's see it, please. I want to
Let's
know.
see it.
But
Yeah, put
yeah,
your money where your mouth is. Like,
that's
show
right.
me.
Yeah. Talk about how spicy it is. Fall into the tropes of all this that we love to see. So, no, I
Yeah.
appreciate your thoughts on that, Elizabeth, because I've had the same thoughts as well, where I feel like the term romantasy is empowering in ways, and then also there's critique for
Mm,
how it is associated with something that is female dominated, which is great, but also let's just be mindful about what we're using it and what type of things that we're describing with using the
yeah.
term
I
romantasy.
think I'm at the stage where I'm like going through my active reclamation of
Yeah,
the term. And
yeah,
I'm like, no, it's for me. And
that's
I
it.
can use it how I see fit.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think at the moment, I think we're vibing me
I
in
think we're
romantasy.
vibing.
I
Yeah,
think we're vibing.
keep on writing it the way that you want to write it because that is the main thing. Because Seeker's Guild, as you said, is a labor of love. And it is something that is slowly you're chipping away at it. You've got your characters that have things to say to you in their own time. So I am really curious to get into more of an explanation about what the Seekers Guild is about.
Oh my God.
So can you please enlighten us about what is the
Okay.
Seekers Guild about?
Uh, so it's about a lot of things.
Yeah.
It's about a lot of things. No, the book centers around Katerina. She is the second born of a royal line. Her older brother is like the crown prince. He's gonna take over. And she had this fear of being seen as a useless spare. And she just didn't want to be this spare heir,
Mm,
God forbid something happens to her brother.
mm,
And so she gets accepted in this world. There's an academy that studies outlaw magic, and also artifacts and philosophy and the sciences. They also do all of the weddings and the funerals, and there's kind of like academia meets religion in this
yep.
world. So she goes to the academy and she trains. She has a small amount of magic, they think. Turns out to be a large amount of magic. But they don't know where it's come from because her siblings don't have any and her parents don't have any. Just one in a generation kind of blip.
Yep.
And she trains and she becomes the head of the academic militia, called the Seekers Guild, and they are made up of few select magicians, I could say, or magic using fighters. And they are a group who they travel around and they find artifacts or pieces of illegal illegal
Mm.
substances or fey relics
Mm.
or anything that relates to magic because magic has been outlawed outside of the use of the academy.
Yeah.
And they dole out the consequences. So a lot of that means a death sentence, or a lot of the time they might burn a village as a consequence, or
Wow.
take, you know, rations away if they're a rationing village. Um,
Mm.
and yeah, they are kind of like the bridge between the royal, um, what am I trying to say? Like the
Yeah.
royal military
Yep.
and the academy. So, and Kat is at the spearhead of that
Yes.
guild.
It is interesting how you've got different types of military sections. So in
Yeah.
academia, academic militia, is that what you called it? No.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I call it. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like an
Yeah.
academic militia. Like they've trained
Mm.
their minds as much as their bodies. Like, yes, they can fight and she can slam you to the ground, but she
Mm-hmm.
also could recite like a full history of an ancient society, if needed. And I think that that's really important. I was really inspired by how a lot of terrorist groups target historical locations to help
Mm.
erase culture and legacy and
Yeah.
history.
Yeah.
So like there's no doubt about it. Like Kat is a terrorist at the start of the book. She works for this terrorist organization, and just because they're hiding as academics doesn't mean they're any less of a terrorist group. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she does actively terrorize the community and you know,
Yeah.
the land surrounding, and she's not great. Like
Yep.
she knows it's rough, but she feels like it's a little bit too little too late. She can't leave. Um yeah,
Yeah.
she's stuck in it. Yeah.
She's indoctrinated into this whole
Yeah.
world. And I think that's also something that you see with, I guess, if we're getting into like the politics and terrorism and following a strong belief, it does feel like you're in it. A lot of people can feel like they're in it too deep to stop now. But I'm curious to see how Cat, I can call
Yeah,
her Cat.
Katarina,
Yeah,
cat. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm curious to see how her morality will evolve. So it already seems like you've got a real thick plot brewing that has a lot of
Yeah.
political intrigue.
Yeah, a lot of political intrigue, a lot of
Yeah.
geopolitical like politics,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to write it in a way that's digestible.
Yep.
I've mentioned Game of Thrones a few times. Like I'm a Game of Thrones fan, like fanatic.
Yep.
And I often felt like a lot of the politics was hard to swallow and hard to digest,
Yep.
which for some people can ruin, I guess, the plot, like
Experience.
because they
Yeah.
don't know why the characters are acting like they
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
So Kat is very much, she's aware of her indoctrination. She knows.
Yeah.
But she also knows that there's little other option.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she's involved, then her brother doesn't have to be involved because
Mm.
they have a royal in the academy, and her
Mm.
younger sister doesn't have to be involved. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so she
Yeah.
works
There will
for,
be some family
yeah.
dynamics in that as well. It is reminiscent, I guess, of yeah, the intricate details with Game of Thrones. But I do like how you are also trying to make it a little bit more digestible because I totally agree with Game of Thrones. I got very confused, and that's just no other way to describe it. I was like, okay, we're going here.
Yeah.
That's fine. And look, it's fine to be, not spoon fed or anything like that. But
Mm.
I appreciate that you are trying to make it, I guess, even more accessible in some ways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely
Mm,
accessible. And I think as well, like there's this barrier between readers and high fantasy that you have to prepare. Like,
mm.
I don't know, like so many of my friends like, oh, I'm starting my research for Brandon Sanderson and I'm
Oh,
preparing. And I'm
well, I've
like,
never heard of.
yeah, yeah, I'm like, dude, just read it. Like, what do you mean?
Just
Um,
read.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So I think there's like this, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I feel like there's um this need to make it difficult to understand so then it's
Yeah.
worthwhile.
So that
Or
it's a little
like,
bit more serious,
yeah.
maybe, or
Yeah, more serious.
yeah.
And then it's like, Sarah J. Maas's universe, her Maasverse is huge, and intricate and detailed. And, people can think what they want about her.
Mm,
But at the very least, like she's created this very intricate world.
mm,
But I would
yeah.
say that it's far easier to understand than her epic fantasy like counterparts.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, it's just
There's
about
a
making
part
it
of it.
accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, and it is an enjoyable part. I really enjoy world building as an author, but you can get to a
Same,
point
yeah.
where it does become, of course, it's indulgent to enjoy making the story, but there does come to a point where it's like, okay, but I need to invite other people into this world too.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to just let things be as they are and not overcomplicate it. But it's always tempting to throw more things in there if you fancy it. So the
Yeah,
world
yeah.
of EJ Riley's universe, the
Yeah.
Rileyverse
The
is the
Rileyverse.
Rileyverse. We've got to hashtag that and
Yeah.
yeah, put that out there because I'm excited. I'm so excited for the Seekers Guild,
Oh
and
my God.
I will be there, front and center for whatever the release looks like.
Oh my
And so,
God.
do you have a proposed day, time or year or something like that where I know this is asking a hard question now, but do you have
Um,
a plan?
I have a plan. So
Mm,
I graduate my master's in July
yep.
and then go into full-time work. However, I like a good work-life balance.
Mm.
And I'm hoping to get it ready and done to a standard that I'm ready for. I want to send it to an editor by December.
Oh, awesome.
If
Yeah.
that doesn't happen, don't shoot me. But
I
I
appreciate that.
that's
Yeah.
the plan. That's the plan. Edited by December, but
Yep.
hopefully that I'm trying to spoon feed people my short stories so that
Yes.
if they like my style, I'm like, well, come on in. There's a big book a coming.
Absolutely.
Um,
That's how you got
yeah.
me. Because I was thinking, okay, so she's doing some stuff with the short stories. There's got to be more. And sure enough,
Yeah.
there
Yeah,
is.
there is more. There is more. And no, I just love a short story. I love different styles as well. Like I've also got a short horror
Love
cooking as
that.
well. That I'm hoping, praying and hoping will be out at least by January. Um so yeah, there's
Wow.
things coming out. There's things coming out.
Things coming out.
Just for Seekers Guild, we gotta wait. We gotta
That's
wait
fine.
because Kat does what she wants and
I'm patient.
yeah, she's hard to wrangle. She's really hard to wrangle.
That's it.
She goes off script, and I'm like, girl, we've been writing this story for like 20 years.
You gotta lock
You
in.
gotta do your job.
But
Yeah,
it's
so
hard to control. Yeah,
it's
I
hard
get
to
you.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love talking about it. Like I'll
Yeah.
talk about it day and night, like whatever gets people excited. I think because I know it's not going to change much, I'm so fine with like posting about it and talking about it
Yeah.
because
It's
like I know what's
really
going to
happening.
happen. Like
It's
it's
on
really
its
happening.
way.
It's on
It's
its way.
so probably maybe next year, it
I'm
sounds like,
hoping,
for
I'm
book one.
hoping book one
Book one.
sometime next year, and then the rest of the books should be quicker than that. I'm
Yeah,
hoping like
they
one a
probably will.
year,
Wow.
hopefully a year and a half. But yeah.
That is so exciting. I mean, I know that you've put so much passion into it, and I love how you are focusing on the creative expression and that first, rather than feeling compelled to just slam it, let's go, marketing, go for it, get that book out there. You're not forcing it in that way. And I think that there needs to be, I understand in the busy fast-paced capitalist hellscape that we
Mm,
live in, the commodification of art seems to be the natural progression that you have to follow that kind of footsteps. But it's really refreshing to hear you talk about taking your time as someone who also takes a long time to write stuff. I see you and I
yeah.
appreciate you because there's no use in rushing. I know I'm very excited, but I'm patient. I'm patient
Yeah.
because I understand this is your process. This is the creative process. So it will happen when it happens.
And I think as well, like, yes, it's a project I want to put out for other people to enjoy,
Yeah,
but I'm not doing this for anyone else.
that's
Like,
right.
this is the little me who needed to tell this story, and she doesn't know what money is.
No,
She's like
care.
6. She doesn't know. She doesn't care. She just knows that Kat needs to go through this, and it'll happen when it happens, and she wants to hold the physical book. So. Like, obviously, I would love to make money off my art, but that's also why I have another job.
That's
Um,
right. That's
like
right.
this
Yeah.
is for me and for
Yeah.
love and for life and for health. Like
Yes.
this is
Yeah.
this is for me. It's not for anyone else. Like
Hmm.
if other people enjoy it, oh my God, I'm so pleased.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like I'm doing this to give a little girl something
Yeah.
that she's dreamed of forever.
Yeah.
And nothing's more like important than that for
Than
me,
that.
you
It's
know.
so exciting. I can't wait for the release, but I'm also always going to be all ears open and eyes watching what you post on your social media. And when we chat on social media, I'm very keen to hear all the updates that relate to that. I will start to wrap up this wonderful chat that we have.
Yeah.
So, where can people connect with you online?
Yeah, I'm at EJ Riley Author on Instagram and TikTok. And I have a website, www.ejrileyauthor.com.
Perfect. Wow. And with that, I should then say a massive thank you for everything, Elizabeth. You have talked so candidly and open about your fantastic journey for writing, and it is emerging. You are so young. And I know that age doesn't have anything really to do with it, but it just sounds so, I mean, I can't stop using the word exciting because I can feel it radiating from you that this
It is
is, it
exciting.
is, it's passion. You've just full of passion for this story that has been with you since you were so young, and it will come out and be such a momentous occasion. And I'm going to be there right front and center supporting
Oh
you
my
the whole
God.
way through because,
An
yeah.
arc, an arc will find you in the mail at
Oh
some
my
point.
gosh. I would be so honored. But with that, I should say thank you, Elizabeth.
No, thank you. Thanks
Everything.
for having me.
My pleasure.
I feel really grateful to be someone who has only published one short story and then getting on an amazing, really exclusive,
Oh,
really cool little podcast.
oh,
So
oh, thank you. You say only one, but that's more than majority of the population. So
yeah, yeah, and the curious beguilement of Pasha and June is
available.
available, and it's
Yes.
a freaky little story. So
Yeah. Enjoy it. Well, with
enjoy
that, that's
it.
it. That's it. Thank you again, Elizabeth.
No,
And
thank
I
you.
can't wait to see what happens next. Thank you so much for watching the Indie Author Live show. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you want to know more about my own literary journey or the journey of some of our guests that you might have seen on the show, please consider subscribing or following my Substack or my YouTube channel. Finally, if you want to know more about my novel, Still Waters Run Deep, it is available on many distribution websites such as Amazon, Etsy, Baventi, you name it. All that information will be in the show notes if you're interested in learning more about my story to do with elemental magic and coming of age. Take care, everyone, and see you in the next episode.